talk to you about meditation, the importance of meditation in the teenager's life. And I'm sure you're exploring as you look at this video. And there are so many paths. You don't know which path to take. One side, there is worshipping God, and the other side is about what spiritual path I should take to really take charge of my mind, because my mind is like a monkey mind. I'm not able to focus, I'm not able to concentrate, I'm not able to study well. I want to focus, I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to get sleep. And how can I take charge of that? And if these are the questions which worries you, you are absolutely on the right video. And that's what I explored over a period of years, and I believe that's an important dimension to take. So there are many paths one can get into, and I would encourage you not to explore too many paths. Just look at one or two and just jump in and experience it, because meditation is all about experiencing, not being analytical, right? So today I'm going to talk to you about one of the paths which I have explored, and I can tell you because of my own experience, and that's the path which is Vipassana. Vipassana has a 7 days teenagers course, a residential course, which helps you to manage your monkey mind. Now, what happens? Scientifically, you should understand how this is possible and why we get into an autopilot, or why we time travel to past or future and we are rarely in the present, because that's where we have to do our work. That's where we have to write the exam. But when I'm sitting in the exam, actually I'm thinking of what the result I will get, rather than worrying about solving the problem. And that is a big thing. And how do I break that? The good news is brain is neuroplasticity, which means you can make new connections and you can rewire them completely. But how do you do that? You have to go deeper into it. You can't just talk or visualize these things. You have to make it happen at a root level. And therefore, the R&D, which is Gautam Buddha himself, had come up with this, discovered this tool called as breath. And breath is so powerful, because if you know scientifically, we may have read that in our biology class in 9th or 10th, there is a central nervous system, and which is controlled by two sides of the nervous system. One is known as the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system role is to manage our day-to-day, as I'm talking to you, a default part of our body. Breathing, digestion, thinking, when it works the best when it is at rest. But sympathetic nervous system, which is the second side of our body, that part of this nervous system role is to constantly watch for any physical threat. Yes, and the moment there is any physical threat, imagine you're walking in a forest and you see a branch looks like a snake, you'll get alerted. Sympathetic nervous system will take over. It'll shut down the digestion system, it'll reduce the visual ability, it'll reduce all the maximum energy taking components of a body, and it will force the blood circulation to the head, pumps the oxygen towards the head, so much so that it will make you to fight the creature or run away from it. Now the bad news is that brain cannot distinguish between actual physical threat or false alarms. False alarms like the fear of failure, fear of not cracking the exam, fear of maths, fear of the headmistress asking you to come out and speak. Fear of the stage. So all those fear, same chemical gets triggered, and the brain thinks that the sympathetic nervous system has to take over, and our entire body is overly stimulated, and our cognitive, our thinking brain shuts off when the emotional brain opens up, which is because of the sympathetic nervous system. How do you balance this? How do you change the wiring where there's an imbalance happen? And the great tool the body has got is in the center, which is our nose, which is our breathing. Now you have heard the old age that take deep breaths and it will relax you, and it's so true, because taking deep breath, it neutralizes the sympathetic nervous system, helps you relax. This is a false alarm, and it allows the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a default side of the brain, to take over. Now this can happen in moment to moment, but can I do this automatically, right? How can I work on that? How can I create this command that at my will I'm concentrating, at my will I'm in the present zone, at my will I'm not taken charge by the fear, which immobilize me, and it makes me worry and makes me feel anxious or reduces my confidence level, right? So the 7 days residential course is all about that, because you have to get out of the world to go deeper. That's why it's a residential course, and I'm sure you may be concerned about that, but I tell you, this is the most well organized residential courses. There are many courses happening currently in India, and I've put the link in the description so you can watch that. I have also put a video on people who have experienced these courses. There are a lot many students who've gone through it, and they go through it every month as I'm talking to you. So that's one path I would highly encourage you to explore. What will happen after 7 days is you practicing observing the breath. You're just observing. Gautam Buddha, I talked about something called anapana. Anapana means watching the breath coming in and watching the breath going out. And the very act of doing it increases your concentration, makes you to your mind to be stable, sharp, agile, and able to deal with any problem. Your decision-making ability becomes more sharper. Your ability to take charge of your parasympathetic nervous system and relax your sympathetic nervous system, it becomes a by default new wiring in your body, and you feel so rejuvenated, because practicing this on a regular basis will help you take charge of yourself, right? So that's what I wanted to tell you. So the link of the details have been given. More than happy to help you with any other questions, thoughts you have. This is the most scientific process, and I would encourage young students like you to come on, because you have to be curious and you have to be the students of life. So are you the student of life?